Okay, YouTube, we're not going to pretend that we're the first people to make this comparison. Any sci-fi space exploration story is inevitably going to be compared to the almost 50-year-old Star Trek franchise at some point. The fact is, Star Trek shaped American science fiction so much that the franchise's influence can be seen almost everywhere. But Mass Effect has especially strong connections to the many adventures of Starfleet, so many that we wanted to share some of them here. But before we start, I just want to make sure and say, don't worry, Babylon 5 fans, your day will come. No need to worry or, throw a tantrum in the comments section. In a previous episode of Mass Effect Hidden History, we mentioned a few of the cast members that the game series shares with the Star Trek shows, but there are a few more we didn't get into. Michael Dorn, who voices the Krogan battlemaster Gatatog Uvenk in Mass Effect 2, plays another fierce warrior on Star Trek The Next Generation, Lieutenant Worf. The similarities between the two characters is fairly obvious, as both come from extremely warlike alien cultures. Another example is Dwight Schultz, who played the hapless Reginald Barclay in Star Trek The Next Generation, Voyager, and First Contact, who voices Navigator Charles Presley in the first two Mass Effect games. And here's an interesting bit of trivia. Commander Shepard herself, Jennifer Hale, did extensive voice work in two separate Star Trek Starfleet command games. Kobayashi, one of the countless planets found in the Mass Effect universe, is believed by many fans to be named after the Kobayashi Maru, a no-win battle scenario test that was famously featured in Star Trek The Wrath of Khan and the 2009 Star Trek reboot. Another planet, Zayartur, features some odd and unexplained lights in the sky. This could be a reference to the episode of the original series called The Lights of Zetar, in which an atmospheric light storm affects the crew of the Enterprise. Asteroid X-57, a hollowed-out asteroid used for mining, has a radio station broadcasting from it. The radio station has a slogan that is occasionally heard: "When your world is hollow, we help you touch the sky." This is a reference to Star Trek the original series episode called "For the World is Hollow and I Have Touched the Sky." The plot of this episode, not so coincidentally, centers around a population that lives on a hollow asteroid. Another small nod to the show is the Quarian ship Idena, which is described as being on a 5-year mission. This is of course a reference to the original mission of Captain Kirk's Enterprise. Although the fictional history of Mars in the Star Trek universe differs quite a bit from that of Mass Effect's Red Planet, they do share one interesting date. Both Martian colonies were founded on the same highly specific year, 2103. Also, in the Star Trek The Original Series episode, The Mark of Gideon, Captain Kirk is given the coordinates 875-020-079. These are the same numbers given as the code for the neutron purge that Shepard gets from the body of Yaroslav Tartakovsky in the first game. The name of the Terra Nova colony is thought to be a reference to a different Star Trek show, Enterprise. In the prequel show, we come to find out that Terra Nova was one of the first human colonies ever established in space. This is also very true of Mass Effect's Terra Nova. What seals the deal for many fans, though, is the fact that the capital of Terra Nova in the game series, Scott, shares its name with the actor who plays Captain Archer in Enterprise, beloved nerd favorite Scott Bakula. Perhaps one of the biggest pieces of inspiration that Mass Effect took from Star Trek is found in Cerberus. Many fans believe the organization to be a reference to the group Section 31, first introduced in the Next Generation spin-off Deep Space Nine, and more recently seen as the villains of Star Trek Into Darkness. Section 31 has the basic goal of searching out and identifying potential dangers to the Federation, meaning humanity. This is very similar to Cerberus's motto, which claims that they are committed to the advancement and preservation of humanity. Both organizations go about achieving their goals through very shady and clandestine means. Not only that, the Elusive Man, though said to be modeled after Martin Sheen, also shares a similar look and worldview with Section 31 head Luther Sloan. Speaking of similar organizations, did you ever notice that the logo for the Systems Alliance looks almost exactly like that of Starfleet? Last but not least is the Asari, who, oddly enough, owe their entire existence to Star Trek The Original Series. According to the developers in the book The Art of Mass Effect, the feminine alien race was initially just created to fill the green alien girls trope, which is, of course, a reference to James Kirk's many colorful alien lovers over the course of the show. When Gene Roddenberry created his low-budget sci-fi show about a group of space adventurers, he had no idea just how resonant his concept would prove to be. From comedies like Galaxy Quest to immersive, fully explorable universes like Mass Effect, there's no denying the effect that the Star Trek franchise has had on the science fiction genre, and Mass Effect in particular. You thought you knew Mass Effect, but hopefully you learned just a thing or two more. Do you know any other references we didn't cover here? Share them in the comment section below, and we might include it in a future episode. If you like Hidden History, don't forget to like and subscribe for more. And while you're at it, go follow ShoddyCast on Facebook and Twitter, where you'll find all the latest news on all the latest shows, and I will see you folks next week.